Welcome to the Tripod Sports Podcast. My name is Catman, and with me is Chappers. Pardon me, I had to take a sip of my refreshing beverage. KASTLE is out of the office today, so Chappers and I are going to do what we normally do when he's out of the office, is we're just going to mostly sit and get really in-depth about basketball, probably, because he always tries to steer us off track because he gets bored. So we're going to touch briefly on the NHL playoffs because we've had some developments in the past week, and then we're going to talk about the NBA playoffs probably a little bit more in depth, and then we're going to do a little bit of a look ahead to the players this weekend, make our picks, and call it a show. So it'll be pretty quick. I'm going to burp. Excuse me. We're going to start with the NHL playoffs. So the Caps finally got the monkey off their back, so to speak, when they were able to handle the Pittsburgh Penguins. In 6 games last night, Kuznetsov scored a wonderful 5-hole goal in overtime about 2 or 3 minutes in, I think. Really exciting game overall, which is to be expected with these teams. But, Chappers, did you happen to watch any of it?
No.
Okay.
Well, that's not true. I saw a little bit of it
while
I was on the treadmill at the gym.
Okay. So,
does that count?
Yeah, that counts. So, very exciting stuff. They will move ahead to play the Tampa Bay Lightning in the Eastern Conference Finals, which I was already telling KASTLE I hope he's looking for tickets to go and see them. And on the Western Conference side of things, the Las Vegas Golden Knights, and they took care of business against the San Jose Sharks. Was not Sharks in 5. It was actually Knights in 5, wasn't it? But bottom line, they took care of business. 6 games. And they continue their trek towards a Stanley Cup appearance in their first season ever, which is like ridiculous. Nashville beat Winnipeg last night to take it back for Game 7 in Nashville, which I'm sure is going to be freaking epic. And no one's going to go to work the next day.
Again, I just want to see Tennessee Titans offensive linemen chugging beer out of catfish.
Right. Just more of that would be better for hockey. So you would have Vegas versus Nashville.
Oh, that would be incredible.
You'd have Nash Vegas and Las Vegas. That would be pretty awesome. And, I think there's something to be said that no matter how the expansion draft may or may not have worked out as far as parity goes, it's pretty cool for a team in their first year to make it this far. It might be unheard of, to be honest with you. I don't really know. But seems pretty impressive. So that's hockey. I don't know. I mean, I've not watched... I've watched some Caps hockey this year, more so in the playoffs. I've not watched a single second of the Tampa Bay Lightning playing hockey, except when Brad Marchand licked that one guy. And that's all. I mean...
He literally licked him?
Oh, he licked 2 people in the playoffs. He's a rat fuck, first of all. Brad Marchand's a rat fuck.
That's not... Just to clarify, that's not like a... That's not
a hockey term?
Yeah. He literally licked somebody with his tongue.
Yeah, he took... So
that's fucking weird.
It was Ryan Callahan. I don't know. I think it was the second time, but I don't know who it was the first time. The second time, though, it was Ryan Callahan of the Tampa Bay Lightning. They were having a little discussion.
Exchanging pleasantries?
They were exchanging pleasantries, and then things got more pleasant than Ryan Callahan had expected, and Brad Marchand licked his face. Twice this postseason. The first time was Leo Komarov, who plays for the Toronto Maple Leafs. So he has licked 2 people. He has been given a stern warning to stop licking people. I don't know if he will. I mean, well, they're out, so... He can't lick anyone anymore.
A stern warning? I feel like you should be pressing charges. That's ugh.
The Tampa Bay Lightning coach, I thought, made a really good point. He's like, "Do we have anything in the it was his presser after the game?" And he was like, do we have a rule against like spitting on opponents in the NHL? Because if we do, I think it should be the same thing. And it's like, yeah, it really should. I'm assuming they're like one would be suspended for spitting on someone.
Right.
I mean, what's the difference? You can't just be exchanging bodily fluids with other people. It's fucking weird.
That is, the licking thing is one of the weirdest things I've ever heard.
Yeah, and it's par for the course with that guy too. He's a real prick.
Really fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
Like beyond just being a dick, like that's just weird.
Imagine our good friend Ray Olin licking someone.
Right. It's not
like who thinks to do that?
Yeah, that's weird. That's like he probably needs to get his head checked out.
I would agree. So, that's the NHL playoffs. We'll see what happens tomorrow night. I think it's tomorrow night or something. One of the next few nights. What's going to shake out in the Western Conference. So, now on to the NBA playoffs. You can already hear it in my voice. I'm very happy.
So, this is an interesting turn. I mean, after the Cavs struggled so hard with the Pacers, you would have thought, maybe they don't lose to the Rockets, but like you would have thought that the Rockets would have given them some problems,
right?
And they really sliced right through them. I like the first game. I think really ended the series right then and there because like the Cavs had no business winning that game, and the Raptors just blew it. And, game 3 was close. It took that LeBron shot at the end. But
I think that was like the knife to the heart.
Yeah, I think that was the second one. But like the Cavs were at least in control of that game for most of it.
Right.
The game 1, the Cavs had no business winning, but like I mean, game 2 and game 4 just like no contest. Did LeBron even play in the fourth quarter?
I don't know, to be honest. I don't think much.
It's kind of, I gotta feel like the Cavs have mixed feelings about this because I'm sure after the series against the Pacers, they had to have been like, it would be really nice to end this series early and get some time off.
Right.
But now they're
hot.
Yeah, now they're probably like, I want to just play everybody because we're fine. This is finally starting to work the way it's supposed to. But
right,
it's all about matchups, and the Pacers gave them some trouble with matchups, and the Raptors didn't. Like the Raptors, I think were trying to get away with just putting DeRozan on LeBron as to not like create as many matchup problems, and just didn't work.
Right. Yeah, no, it didn't work at all. I thought they might have something going with like Valanciunas down low. I think he was pretty effective, but overall, I think they just figured something out somehow. I don't know how it came about, why it came about the way it did, but they seem to have a lineup now, and I think I said this last week too. They seem to have this lineup that they're comfortable with, and that they all understand one another, and it seems to work pretty well. Now, granted, they're gonna, it is like you said, it's all about matchups. So I have to imagine guys like Rodney Hood, Larry Nance are gonna see more time in the next series, probably Clarkson too, but it'll be interesting.
Yeah, I think it really depends on. I think that's the big question: is like, have the Cavs figured themselves out, or did they figure the Rocket or the Raptors? Did they figure out the Raptors, or did they figure out themselves? If they figured out themselves, look out. Like that's what. Kind of how they had it in mind, like LeBron and 4 shooters. That's the way they've always wanted to do it, but they've had a lot of trouble consistently putting on that on the floor and not sacrificing other things.
Right.
But like,
and the defense has been better.
Yeah,
I think. And it's gonna take guys like last night. George Hill really dominated the first quarter. Like, I don't know how much of it you watched, but I
didn't get a chance to.
It was unlike it really was like a George Hill coming out party. Oddly enough, even though it's 4 months after the trade deadline and we're in the postseason, like, he took over, and it was nice to see because like that's what it's going to take.
And he had a great second half in Game 7 against the Pacers, too. And it does seem like they really could use him to just light up. And he's obviously capable of that. I mean, he had a good year with the, offensively with the Kings before they acquired him. And he kind of disappeared. I mean, I don't know if he had a nagging injury or if he just didn't fit very well, but like, if they can get the George Hill that they had in mind,
right,
that's tough for opponents because a guy who can play defense and is an excellent 3-point shooter and doesn't need the ball in his hand all the time is the perfect point guard for LeBron.
Right, I agree, and like, yeah, I'm hoping they can carry some of this momentum. I have to imagine going back to Boston that the Celtics are probably going to take care of business. Yeah, but I wouldn't put it past Philadelphia to steal one first.
I mean, the Cavs would just love to have that series go 7. I know.
Everyone just get a break.
Yeah, well, and wear down the Celtics, true. Right? Like,
yeah, I don't think anyone like that's the thing with the Celtics too is like I left them for dead once Kyrie was done. Like, I'm like, okay, well, that's great that they're, going to be a number 2 seed, but, like, it doesn't really matter. But their outside shooting has just, like, really kept them around.
It's really hard to believe watching them that their top 2 players at the beginning of the season aren't playing.
Right. It really is because you
wouldn't have noticed it by the way they've been playing.
And that's the thing is I think it just got like those guys. They're probably a pretty tight knit group. They're just a team. So it's like, and sometimes those are the hardest groups of people to beat is when there's not necessarily a defined superstar on the floor, but they're just playing so well off of one another, and they have so many young guys that can make plays.
Yeah, they're a dangerous team moving forward because, like, if they want to make moves, I mean, like, or they won't even have to make moves.
Yeah, they don't. I mean, they don't have to for a while. I mean, Gordon Hayward and Kyrie are on brand new contracts.
Yeah, and they've got these guys coming up that's playing really well. The only player that they really have that's a big factor that's kind of on. In entering the twilight of his prime is Al Horford. I think Al Horford's extremely underrated.
Oh, he absolutely is.
Every time I've seen him play, he's been a problem for the opposing team. He just has a game he has a very unique game that I don't think anyone really matches, where he's not super athletic, but he's got enough athleticism to make it work.
Yep.
And he can stroke it, and he's so strong.
Yeah.
And like
around the hoop, he's a problem.
Yeah, but he can also shoot too. So like he's a matchup nightmare. Like no one can match up with that guy.
Right.
And so I think that's a little bit of a problem. But yeah, moving forward with like guys like that's why I think they might need to make a move to get a big guy.
Right.
But like going forward with like Jason Tatum and Rozier, and when they get Irving and
Gordon Hayward
back. I mean, that's a lot of firepower.
It blows my mind too, just thinking about it. Like if Kyrie had been on the Cavs right now, he would have missed like another postseason.
He does have some injury issues. Well, I mean, it's the same injury.
That goddamn knee.
But I'm still wondering how valuable he actually is.
I don't know. That's kind of what I'm trying to point out. Like, I don't think I'm ready to take a leap and say, like, I think the Celtics might be ready to move on from him in a couple of years if he doesn't get healthy. Well, because I don't know.
I think it was kind of telling last year when, Isaiah Thomas was putting up all those points.
Right.
And then he went down in the postseason, but the Celtics were not playing worse without him. It looked like they actually played better against the Cavs without him because he's so absent on defense.
Yeah, I agree.
And that's, Kyrie's not that bad because Isaiah Thomas he's too short to play defense. He just is.
Right.
And Irving's not in that category, but Irving is a liability on defense. That is a well-known fact.
Right.
And I think it is a problem. He obviously can score the ball. There's no doubt about that. He's incredibly talented. But, when everything comes out in the wash, are you really getting all that much more production than you would out of, I'm guessing Rozier will come down to earth, but the way he's playing.
Right.
If you have Rozier the way he's playing, that's just fine. You don't need much different than that.
Right. I agree. So that'll be interesting. On the Western Conference side of the ball, which, as you can probably tell, Chappers and I could give a rat's ass about.
Yeah, until the Western Conference Finals. We've been saying this all along.
Yeah, Golden State's probably going to... Utah's up by 6 right now. Houston's up by 6 right now. I have to imagine they're going to finish what they got to do, and I have to imagine Golden State's going to do the same exact thing at 9:30 p.m. Central Standard Time and finish off the Pelicans. And then we'll finally have our matchup that we actually need to watch and see what happens, and is going to largely determine how I feel about the Cavs' chances to do anything.
Right. And I think we're both in the same boat where, I think...
Let's go Rockets.
Yeah, it would be more fun to see a Cavs-Rockets final, but I don't think that's what we're expecting either. I think we are both not convinced that the Rockets, despite having home court advantage and a better record, are a better team than Golden State.
I would agree, especially in the postseason. They're just not there. In the postseason yet. Experience matters in the NBA playoffs, I think.
I think also a D'Antoni thing.
Right.
He's had some great regular season teams that haven't really done much and fizzled out in the playoffs.
Right. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. I'm really hoping.
Really thrilled.
Well, I am. I'm hoping for some sweet scuffles because I don't think they particularly care for one another.
Well, I think there's always an issue with the Warriors because of Draymond. Because he's going to.
It's never his fault. It's never his fault, though.
You can't play a 7-game series with that guy without there being a problem because he's a starter, and when you have to deal with him for 7 games, he's going to piss somebody off.
Right. So, I'm really hoping for the Rockets, but again, I'm not expecting it. I just don't understand if LeBron doesn't deserve to win. I know it's not about deserving. That doesn't matter at all, but it's it would be one of those another sort of storybook finish for LeBron if he could somehow pull off another title this year. Just the year he's had at 33. God, and you know what? I'm just playing it out in my head. It'd be great to beat the Warriors. Don't get me wrong, that would be unbelievable. But it'd almost be better to go up against the Rockets and have everyone say James Harden is the definitive MVP, and then have LeBron just drag his dick all over them.
Yeah, I think we'd all love to see that. I think it's a little bit tougher of a case to make just because they play different positions. I mean, like LeBron
Right.
plays like every position, but they're not going to match up
No.
much on the court. And
But
you would
like
love
I
to
just
see
right.
like a straight matchup between those two, just to demonstrate that there's no comparison.
Yeah. I agree. All right, well, that's all we got to say about that, unless you have anything else.
Nah.
All right, well, let's do a little look ahead to the players, and then we'll call it a show.
Let's
So, should they make this the 5th major?
No. Not
Okay.
because I have any problem with it, but like problem with the players. It's a great
I
tournament.
love the players.
But I don't think they should. I don't think they need to add a major. Like I just don't.
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm fine with that. It's just like, to me, and I know this might sound ridiculous, like I almost like get more hyped up about the players than I do the PGA Championship.
Well, that's what I was just gonna make that point, Catman. Is that like I feel like there's already. I don't want to say too many because I wouldn't advocate like stripping a major because that would be weird. But like the PGA Championship to me is like major,
Right.
you know, like it's
Right.
not all that exciting,
Mm-hmm.
and it's only exciting because it's a major. So, you know,
Yeah.
there's that.
Yeah.
I never really get super hyped about the PGA Championship,
Right.
except for like at that time of year we're all in full golf swing and we're have played golf a bunch, so we're all into it.
Yeah, and I mean at that point we're there, but it's also a Ryder Cup year, so at that point, let's be honest, we're going to be saving whatever golf energy we have left in our stores for Ryder Cup
Yeah.
in France, which is still fucking
I
bullshit.
don't know. I didn't even know you could do it in mainland Europe. I thought it was all in the isles.
I figured the Scots just like stood on the border and just like threatened to shoot you,
Yeah, something like that.
like in kilts.
But like I knew it's been in
Well, yeah,
England
it's been in England and
before.
Ireland. Okay,
But that's
so the
that's
British.
fine. But that's fine.
Yeah, that's where it should be.
Yeah, I mean,
It should be in Great Britain.
Yeah, but I suppose all European golfers are a part of it. I mean, like Sergio and
Totally. But that playing in Spain on like a Mediterranean course would make more sense to me than outside of Paris.
yeah, that is that is really fucking weird because I don't even know if there is a French golfer that's going to be in the Ryder Cup.
Right.
And if it is, it's probably just a like token French golfer just because it's in France.
Right. And like that's what I mean. Like you go to Spain, like when you talk to Spanish people about Sergio, they like weep because they're Spanish, so they're naturally very emotional about their athletes. It's like the same thing with Rafa Nadal. Like
Right.
they like weep over Sergio and Rafa Cabrera Bello and Sevi back in the day. So like that to me even makes more sense. And I'm sure there's some gorgeous courses on the Mediterranean part of Spain that you could pull off that would be great for the Ryder Cup. But fucking France?
Yeah,
Shit makes no sense.
France is like the last country in Europe I think of when I think golf, you know?
Yeah, I think Le Tour. That's all I think when it comes to anything sporting. So, all right, well, that has nothing to do with what we're even talking about. So, the players. I don't even know who won the Wells Fargo. Oh, Jason Day won the Wells Fargo last weekend. Finish it off. He shot 2 under on the Green Mile, which is like the last 3 holes of Quail Hollow, which is really damn impressive. He's finally looking like he's got it figured out, which I think is good because I like Jason Day a lot, and he's been there so many times.
Real up and down career, really. I mean,
Yeah.
like he's just like he went from just when the year he won the PGA Championship.
Right.
When he was playing that, I mean, he was playing unbelievable golf, like just unreal, like looked unbeatable, and then just after that, just kind of disappeared.
Yep.
And I think he's done that before in his career where, like, he's popped up and just, like, looked just insanely good and then just kind of disappeared. But, you know, that's the reality of golf. Like, you know, we deal with it too. I had a great round the last time we played, and I could end up, you know, walking off the course the next round. Who knows?
Right. So, you know, that's sort of setting up for him to probably do well at the Players, but there's also the matchup of gods amongst mere men, which is Tiger, Phil, and Rory. And I don't know how it took the PGA this long to put these three together, but that's going to be freaking sweet.
Yeah.
Because, like, oh, not Rory, Ricky. Damn it. Sorry. Phil, Tiger, and Ricky, which is cooler in my opinion, because I like Ricky better. Because, like, I think Ricky now is, like, really, he's at his own level of stardom where he's going to hang right in with those two. And this course, like, suits him extremely well. Obviously, he's won it in the past, so I'm really excited to watch that matchup. And I'm hoping Tiger didn't really, you know, he's plateaued a little bit. I think the past couple of, I mean, he's only played the Masters and then last weekend. So hopefully he got a little bit more of the rust off and can at least put together some exciting holes this weekend.
I mean, he'll put together some exciting holes this weekend. I'm not sure it'll have anything to do with golf.
Of the human and golf variety. So let's just make picks.
Let's do it.
Chappers, you go first.
I'm going to go with Ricky.
God damn you. That's fair. I think that's a good pick. You know, and this is going to this pains me to say, but, well, wait, no, I can't even, we're not starting over, are we?
We already started over. We're all at 0 still.
Oh, good. Then I'm not going to pick this person. I was going to go with Rory, but I'm actually going to go with, I'm going to go with Henrik Stenson.
Okay.
I like it. Just rip that 3-wood all day. He's my spirit animal on the golf course. Because I just rip 3-wood all day.
He kind of is.
And bringing up the rear, KASTLE via social media has selected Tiger Woods. Bold pick.
Real bold.
I would love it if it were true. I would run through the streets naked if it were true, but I don't know.
So would we have you on record saying you'd run through the streets naked?
Right. I did not clarify a time of day.
Okay. That's, I mean...
So, yes.
All right.
I don't think that's completely out of question.
All right.
Well, that does it, folks. Chappers, is there anything you'd like to leave us with?
Well, you know, we'll just have to wait and see, because there's some interesting sports coming up, and it'll be fun to sit down, relax, and enjoy one with an ice cold Four Loko!